Hi everyone, and welcome back to another BTLO Replay. Before we jump into Sticky Situation, make sure you follow us on X, LinkedIn, or join the Discord server to keep in touch with the BTLO community. Links are in the description box below. Alright, let's jump into Sticky Situation. So the first thing we always do is check the lab details, and we can see that there's actually a password for this one, which isn't very common. And quickly, let's just read the description. So a highly confidential document that has been stolen from the president's laptop and there has been sold on the dark web. The Secret Service thinks someone with physical access to the laptop was able to retrieve the important document, and they suspect the likely attack method was ATTACK ID T1052.001. Can you help the Secret Service to figure out how this happened? So before we jump straight into it, let's take this ATTACK ID and let's just check what this is before we jump into the lab. Okay, so exfiltration over USB sub-technique. We're likely going to have to look for USB artifacts on the box. And then we've got some questions. So there's not too many questions. We can probably just jump straight into that. I'm just going to go full screen so this is easier to look at. Let's go BTLO test, and then I think it was BTLO 2021. Let's get into this. Having a look at the first question, what is the computer name? When was the OS installed? So we're going to likely be looking at registry keys here. What is the time zone of the computer? Again, a registry key. A lot of this looks to be in registry based on the artifacts that we're likely to find these in. And we have Autopsy. Okay. Let's have a look at the investigation files. So we've got the scenario, which should be about the same as what we've read. Let's close that. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Oh. My apologies there. Slow labs always get me because I'm not used to clicking so slowly. Highly confidential. An autopsy case has already been started for you. The ingest modules have been run. Okay. You can open the case by launching Autopsy and navigating to Open Case, Desktop Investigation Files, Autopsy Case, Sticky Situation, then the AUT file. You can export files to disk if I want. This is a medium lab, so I'm surprised. I guess this might be hints for the format that we normally would have. It is an all box. Maybe it was mistakenly left on here. I just kind of want to jump into it. So let's jump into the autopsy case. Let's drag this over here to open it. While it's opening, let's check out the tools that were in this folder. So we have CyberChef, Autopsy, Jump List Explorer, PE Command, Thumb Cache Viewer, and Windows File Analyzer. Okay. So we'll see if we use any of them. I know the first few questions we should be able to get out of Autopsy if it's been run against the case, against the collection already. While I'm waiting for this to open, I'll jump back once it does. All right, so while the case was loading, this notice popped up. One of the images associated with the case are missing. Would you like to search for it now? So I think I saw that as we were going through the files. So let's try and find it again. I think it was just in the folder above. So it's likely just because this got moved as it was put on the box. So we'll go to Desktop, Investigation Files, Autopsy Case, and it's this image here, this EO1. Let's go Select Image. And then it looks like it's loading all right. So while this is loading up, oh, okay, it was pretty quick. We don't have to wait for it. I'll see if I can make, I'm likely not going to be able to make the text bigger. All right, so what was the question we were looking for? Let's just drag this over here. And we'll drag this. We'll drag this across to make it a bit bigger. What was the computer name? So that will likely be in operating system information. And this one, Can I copy the field? Doesn't look like it, but let's try and type it in. So MS Edge Win10. Sweet. When was the OS installed? This will be in the software key. And if we look down here, date and time, let's go format it wants slashes. So 19/03/2019. Excellent. Time zone. This will be in a time zone key or the TZ information. I'm actually not sure where Autopsy put this. It did say that modules will run, so let's see what modules will run on it. Autopsy case, sticky situation, module output. It's done federec, prefetch. Could be recent activity. Yeah, it's kind of the only one that fits. Registry. So the NT user one, look like it's done the hives. It's done reg ripper against it. So the system registry file should have it. Hive is not dirty, so that's good. If a hive's dirty, it means that a collection of the registry was done on the main registry hive, but it has extra files that it kind of caches stuff in, and on a clean shutdown or restart, it will write the new values to the hive. So if a hive is dirty, you can use tools to rectify that, but sometimes the files are corrupt or that doesn't happen during collection. So you'll have a what's called a dirty hive, which means that it is incomplete compared to what was actually written to the registry in memory on the system. So what we're going to look for is the time zone key, which I think is TZ information, but we could probably just go TZ info. Okay. Let's just go TZ sync, auto update. It's not what we want. We're looking for the key name. So in a whole bunch of the DLLs. There it is. So it's time zone information key. That's what we wanted. So the time zone key name is GMT standard time. The format's just the 3, so likely GMT. Cool. If it wasn't GMT, we could have guessed UTC. It's the same. What is the serial number for the first USB mass storage device connected? So that should be back in Autopsy. It should do USBs. So USBs attached. We go date, time. This one, the first one attached. So this is at 9:58. Can I copy this, or am I going to have to type it out? Let's, if I go properties, device ID. Yeah, it's going to make me type it out. So MSFT 30 NA 76 T60 C. Right, that's not right. Let's try the last one. Could just be a miswording of the question, maybe. C0E C33 B0 BD 10D7 0C. Yeah, 0C 00DE. Okay, so what's the last one? What's the vendor name? So that one is Kingston Technology. Wrong answer. Just Kingston. Okay, just wanted Kingston. When was the first USB mass storage device connected the first time? So we're going to assume it's this one. And if I click on this, date, time, is it... So this date time is probably the last time it was connected. But we want the first time that it was connected. So we probably want to look in the system file again. And we want to look for the serial number, I think. And I can't copy. 001. I probably don't have to type all this out. I can probably just go CC0 EC3 and let's go to the bottom, put a thing here, and then let's search up. So there's the Kingston one. It looks like this could be the first time that it was connected. USB store, find next, it'll be that one. USB store 2. Yeah, so mean hour, minute, second as well. Device last write time, friendly name, Kingston device. I reckon that was the first time it was connected. So let's try that. So we're going to go 2020. What was the format again? Slashes 2020 1201. And then it was 9/40/16. Sweet. What is the volume label of the unique USB mass storage device? Again, I think it's this one. I should be able to copy this. I don't think this will be in the system. I think this is stored in the... software hive. Again, Autopsy might do this, but let's have a look in the software. So Red Ripper ran over that as well. Let's do a search. Find next down. Volume label. So it's likely Darth Vader is the drive name. Sweet. Find the user that used the USB device. What was the user's SID? Okay. What was the drive letter assigned? And what was the file name of the document stolen? So this, let's go back to Autopsy. So we knew it was last used on the 11th. And then we also knew that it was first plugged in on the 1st. So we have like a time window of that. Let's have a look at recent documents. Sort by date, time. Okay, so the 11th. There's Darth Vader. So E, drive letter is going to be E. Yep. Finance.txt is probably the document. That makes sense. I was still on that. Okay. And then, okay, source path, users PM app data roaming was the one that used it. So we need to find the user PM. User content suspected. System user accounts. PM. And here's the... Here's the user SID. Oh, I can copy. Okay. Final question. I figured out that I could copy. Sweet. All right, everyone. That was a pretty straightforward lab. Once you knew the artifacts and where they were, a lot of it was in registry. You could definitely Google a lot of that to figure out where it was. A lot of it came from, I guess, background knowledge that I had, but really great lab overall. It was a nice quick one to learn something about USB forensics, and really happy to do it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to never miss a video. In the meantime, remember to join us on Discord and tune in every Friday at 6 PM BST for BTLO Replay. Thanks everyone, and see you all next time.